photographing a winter sunrise at Santa Elena Canyon in Big Bend National Park. Over the holidays, I watched the weather in West Texas with the hopes of getting out for a short trip to photograph. Leading into Christmas, there was a call for snow, and on Christmas Day, the forecast became for a blizzard from El Paso well past Midland. I left on the morning of the 27th and zigzagged my way, staying just south and east of the worst of the blizzard on my way to Big Bend. It was a long day of driving, but after 13 hours, I finally made it to the park. Snow had fallen and the chisos were white. There was also some snow in the desert too. I felt very lucky. I found that my favorite campsite was also available, and I set up my tent in the dark. A few stars were beginning to show, and I hoped that sunrise would bring great light to Santa Elena Canyon, which I hoped to find with snow on. I was up and out early and at the canyon waiting for the light. There were some broken clouds, and I hoped that the sunrise would be spectacular. I made my way to the river and found a spot that I could see the entrance to the canyon as well as the big 1,500-foot tall Sierra Ponce wall. There was some snow hanging on the wall. It wasn't a winter wonderland, but still there were some nice qualities to it. I'd never seen snow here, and I had high hopes for a good sunrise to make a nice image. I set up 2 tripods and 2 cameras. I had my new Sony A7R with an adapted Canon 17-40 lens, and then I had my 5D2, a Canon camera, with a Samyang 12mm fisheye. I thought with this combo I would have a very good chance to get a nice image. The fisheye gives such a wide view, I framed it so I could get both the canyon as well as the Sierra Ponce wall. With the other camera, the Sony, and the 17-40, I kind of zoomed in and out and moved around and tried to follow the light. Once I had them set, I worked out a couple of compositions and then just had to wait for sunrise. One thing about this location is if the sun rises with any kind of clear sky in the east, you're going to get golden light on the wall. I wanted to be ready for it, and then I had to wait. The first light I noticed was far to the south when the clouds began to go orange. Then some light started to appear on the far end of the Sierra Ponce wall. I framed up a few images and also bracketed just to be sure. The Sony has great dynamic range, but I always like to get those extra exposures just in case. Then I noticed that the light was starting to hit the main part of the wall and then the canyon. I ran over and fired off a few images from the fisheye lens on the Canon 5D Mark II. I had pre-positioned the camera, and it turns out that this was the right thing to do, as there was really no time to change cameras and lenses and move around because the light went fast. I got a few images quickly, and then I was back moving with the Sony and the 17-40, framing up a few compositions of the golden light on the cliff wall. Snap here, focus, frame, snap, and move again. I had only made a few images, and suddenly the light was gone. Just like that, the sun passed into the clouds, and the light show was over. All in all, I had a few frames with some nice golden light on each camera. And that is what landscape photography is like. You get out early, you wait. The light happens, or it doesn't. You work with what you get, and then you work quick while the light lasts. Here I got lucky and got a couple of nice images of the sunrise and snow. It's the first time I'd ever caught a morning like this in years of coming to this park. I call it a pretty great morning. So after the sunrise, I packed up and headed back to the vehicle. I wanted to head up to the Chisos and see if I could get some images in the mountains before the snow started to melt like it always does in Texas. Well, thanks for watching. Watch for more trip reports and see images on my blog.